Wow, what a game we just saw here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints. This was a battle that came down to the wire, but the Chiefs managed to get the 32-29 win. Credit to the Chiefs. They haven't necessarily been dominating the way everybody's been expecting them to for the most part. In fact, a lot of their games this season, especially down this stretch, have been very close games. But you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the game's close or you're blowing them out. You got to find ways to win in this league. And the Chiefs, they continue to find ways to win. Even when Mahomes isn't playing at his best, even when the offense is dealing with issues and injuries come up, they still find a way to win the game. And that's all that matters. Mahomes today threw 3 touchdown passes. One to Hardman, one to Tyreek Hill, one to Travis Kelce. As long as he has these weapons, trust me, he's going to find them. In terms of throwing the football today, he had under 250 yards passing today, and he completed like 55% of his passes. So he was not good throwing the ball today. But, protection wasn't great for him today, and even he struggled at times. The defense for the Saints really did a good job on him, and, they forced him to make a lot of, bad throws, and they just put the pressure on him. But, Mahomes is still Mahomes. He's going to make plays. He's going to find a way to find Travis Kelce somewhere down the field, and he's going to find a way to find Tyreek Hill. These weapons, it's too difficult to try and stop these guys. Saints did their best job, and, this game was relatively... It started to look like it could go out of hand, but the Saints made it a game. So, credit to the Chiefs, credit to the Saints, mostly, that defense doing what they needed to do, and credit to the offense for the Saints getting it going as well. So, yeah, Patrick Mahomes himself, this wasn't his best of games, but I'm not going to really say this was kind of an average game. I think it was a pretty good game by Mahomes, given the situation he was dealing with and given the defense he was going up against. It would make sense for him to struggle in terms of being, throwing the football. Though Mahomes is still Mahomes, he's going to make plays. He's going to make big throws down the field and still do what he does. So even though his completion percentage wasn't great, I believe it was at 55%, like I said. So it wasn't great, but he still managed to throw 3 touchdown passes, and his team still managed to get the victory. One thing that did suck is Clyde Edwards-Helaire actually got injured. I hope it's nothing serious. Praying for him, because, I believe it's not going to be anything serious, but we don't know. So we'll just see what happens with that. But, yeah, that's really the only negative that happened there. Defense for the Chiefs, they got a pick off of Drew Brees early on. But for the most part, down the stretch, man, Brees started to make some plays, and he started to carve him a little bit. So, again, the defense, the defense for the Chiefs, I think I've come to accept what they are. I feel like the defense isn't exactly where Chiefs fans want it to be. But at the same time, this defense, time and time again, has managed to do well enough to help this team win. Because, when you have Patrick Mahomes and you have that offense, you only have to make a couple of stops. Because these guys are going to go out there and be explosive and put up points. So there's only a certain amount of stops you really need to make on defense. They don't have to be a top 10 defense. They just need to be good enough in certain moments of the game to help their offense out. And so far, they've done that. Now, granted, today, again, this was one of those days where, they started out defending well, and then, Brees started to get hot, and the team, Saints offense started doing some things. So it is what it is when it comes to that situation. But, yeah, Chiefs defense, it pretty much looks the same as it's been looking all season. Moving over to the Saints side, Drew Brees is back, and my God, to start this game off, you can clearly tell Drew Brees has not been playing football for quite some time. And the Saints might have rushed him in a little bit quicker just because they knew how important this matchup was. And they wanted Drew Brees to play this game. Maybe they didn't have enough faith in Taysom Hill getting the job done. I don't know why. But they were adamant about getting Drew Brees back for this specific game. So he starts the game going 0 for 5 throwing. And he throws a pick. And he just looks awful for the beginnings of this game. But, as the game goes, he starts to make some plays. Throws a couple checkdowns here and there. But, he also starts making some big plays and some big throws down the field. I know people still try to say Drew Brees can't throw the football, but occasionally he's going to throw the ball down the field. If someone's open there, it's going to happen. Keep in mind, in this game, he did not have Michael Thomas, so he had to work with the weapons he had to deal with. So it is what it is. as the game continued to go, Drew Brees started to catch fire, man. He started to do his things, and they started to be more consistent on offense. Drew Brees also didn't throw the ball relatively well this day, and he also finished the day throwing 3 touchdown passes. So good on him. And it was kind of struggling throwing the ball because Saints defense was doing well, and Chiefs defense was doing the best they can. They were doing well early on, and then as the game went by, Brees started to catch fire. The offense started to make plays, and the Chiefs defense started to give up big plays. So it is what it is. Drew Brees came back, and he did not look ready to play in the beginning. He really looked like they shouldn't rush him in, but he's slowly getting back to pace. And again, the Saints still look to be that dangerous team in the NFC. We know what the Packers are, and again, I don't know what to choose, man. The NFC is so confusing, but we'll see. They got 2 games left. They're still fighting for that number 1 seed. We'll see what happens. Defensively for the Saints, like I said early on, they did their very best to try and, they did their very best to make it difficult for Mahomes, and they did a relatively solid job. But Mahomes is going to be Mahomes. He's going to make plays, and again, Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league. Then you got Tyreek Hill, one of the best receivers, and honestly a cheat code. These guys are going to find a way to make plays, get open, and do things. And when you got a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be able to deliver them the ball in any area. And that touchdown pass to McCole Hartman, man, that's something like you look at that type of play, that's something you see Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson also being able to make. There's maybe 3-4 quarterbacks in the league that can make that type of play. So good on Mahomes. I don't even know if he was looking for Hartman. I don't know. It was just a beautiful pass. Put it right there. Hartman made the play, got the touchdown at the back of the end zone. That was great. Saints defense was doing what they needed to do for the most part. One bad thing was this man Cam here, deciding to throw punches, getting himself ejected when his team needs him. And it's funny, as soon as he gets ejected from the game, they proceed to score a touchdown. And I'm like, they legit scored a touchdown. The Chiefs legit scored a touchdown right in the area this guy would be in. And I'm like, oh, wow. That's just hurting your teammate. You throw a punch, get ejected from the game, and then they score a touchdown right where you would have probably been to make a tackle or make a stop. That's hurting your team, man. Come on, Cameron. You can't be doing that, bro. You can't be doing that. I don't even know what you're throwing punches for. I swear, sometimes, the tempers get high, and you start making, people start shoving you, and next thing you know, you want to swing. You got to control yourself there, man. You can't cost your team like that. That's tough. But yeah, relatively, overall for the game, it was a great game. Mahomes was doing his thing. He wasn't perfect throwing the football, but again, Mahomes is going to be Mahomes. He's going to make plays here and there, and he's going to make throws that wow you. He's going to make throws that only Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson maybe can make. That's just who Patrick Mahomes is. He's one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the league. And, him and his team, they just find ways to win the game. Drew Brees still showing that he's got something left in the tank. This is a future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest quarterbacks to play this game. And, he's coming off of the injury that he was dealing with and recovering from and healing from for weeks. He did not have Michael Thomas in this game, yet he still found a way to win. Not to win, but still found a way to make plays and bring this game close. That drive, man, that drive. Down by 10, with about 3 minutes left to go, he drives them, 3.5, 4 minutes left to go. He drives them down the field, and they put up a touchdown before the 2-minute warning. Unfortunately, the defense wasn't able to make a stop. And yes, I know about the penalties and the calls, and everyone's going to complain about that in the game. At this point, we got to understand, the refs are not perfect. The refs end up screwing over a lot of teams. At some point, I don't know. I'm tired of the refs myself, but at some point, you just got to, you expect the refs to screw up. So you're just gonna have to play. You're gonna have to deal with it. That's just how it is. You're gonna have to deal with it because this is what the refs are. This is what they do. So yeah. Overall, this was a great win for the Chiefs. They go to 13-1, and now they kind of just gotta sit back and wait to see what happens. They haven't clinched the number 1 seed yet. Pittsburgh plays tomorrow against Cincinnati. If they win that game, and that basically means week 16 for the most part means nothing. In order, if the Steelers win tomorrow against the Cincinnati Bengals, the 1 seed's still alive for them. And that means Kansas City can win in week 16, and they probably still wouldn't get the number 1 seed. Assuming, Pittsburgh would go on to win in week 16 well. So Kansas City may be playing all the way up to week 17, literally for the number 1 seed with Pittsburgh. We'll see what happens. If the Steelers end up losing Monday night, Kansas City could probably take it in week 16. It'll be over. But, we'll see. The 1 seed's still active, and we know the Bills are trying to fight, though I don't know if the Bills can get the 1 seed at this point because they lost head-to-head against the Chiefs. But we'll see. But, yeah, 13-1 for the Chiefs. What's it called? The Saints, I believe they fall to 10-4 on the season. They still have a chance to win the NFC over the Packers. If they win out in their final 2 games, they end up winning the NFC. But I don't know the playoff scenarios for that. But yeah, they're still fighting. They're close, but they're still fighting with the Packers. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I got, and I'm out of here. Peace.